communication is a huge issue, right? Especially entrepreneurs or the business executive that's numbers oriented, engineers, accountants. They're very focused and they're diligent in what they do. The communication skills are often lacking because they've never had to use them. They've never had to develop them. The entrepreneur started his business because it was a great idea in his or her mind, and they started putting this thing out there, and then all of a sudden they needed other people to help them. Well, that was never part of the plan. So I almost always start with some sort of assessment. I don't know if you've probably done a DISC profile at some point, or Briggs-Meyer.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out there, right? But what most people haven't done is learn how to use that information. So we take it, but when I talk to someone, I say, okay, so what are you? Oh, well, I'd have to go look at it. Okay, well, that's sign one. If they know, well, what did you do with that information? Well, what do you mean do? So once you know who you are, like I'm I'm a driver. And you can tell I talk with my hands. I'm energetic and flamboyant, and I would guess you're probably pretty similar to me.
Very similar.
So we communicate a different way, but someone that may be more reserved could be off put by that.
Yeah.
So if I know what their communication style is, and I learned that because I know what I am and I know what I work with well and how to talk to people, now I can communicate better. If I'm a manager and an executive in a business, that information is invaluable. And if I can get that DISC profile on my team, now I know, hey, Johnny really wants me to ask him these kind of questions and these kind of tasks. Susie would much prefer that this happen. Now all of a sudden everybody's happy. So you could start at a fundamental level with that. And I think really across the board, if I saw one thing that was a major issue, it's communication. And oftentimes that comes out as where it's really a communication problem. It looks like it's a leadership problem because the leader doesn't know how to communicate his ideas or her ideas, and they come across wrong. They come across in a different intent. In communication, we all have an intent of what I want to say. I have an intent right now, what I want to tell you. It may not quite be coming out right, but I know what I want to say. You have no idea what my intent is. You only hear what I'm saying. And that's true everywhere, right? So a leader stands up and they have this intent of motivating and really bringing the troops on board and bringing out this new concept, but their words or their vocabulary or their body posture, all of those things in communication are sending a completely different message. And then they walk into a meeting and one of their cohorts walks up and goes, "What the hell are you thinking, man? What do you mean?" So it's really a communication deal. It wasn't so bad he's a bad leader. If he could communicate or she could communicate better, how much more of a leader would they look like?
And that's such a strong point. The part where you said where it could have been a communication problem has become a leadership problem.
Mm-hmm.
And how that can expound on itself and really complicate the situation even more, to where it's something that's needs to be actioned on, right? And I think where a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of smaller businesses, early stage startups can really benefit from working with somebody like you is being able to identify those opportunities and working with an expert like you to be able to really take advantage of those opportunities and make them their own.